Well, every October during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, family crisis centers open empty chair displays in Sioux Center. Now in November, the display is making the move to Sioux City. KTIV's community impact reporter Taylor Deckard spoke with the family of a domestic violence victim from Sioux City to learn what the display means to them.
Somebody else decided her fate for her.
Stevie Sullivan lost her daughter Peyton to domestic violence in 2018.
She was killed by her ex-boyfriend, along with one of her best friends, Felipe, was also murdered. She was a great kid.
Her kid, Peyton, was just 17 years old.
She was like every other victim, and silence is key. They keep silent because they don't want people to know. You know, they don't want people to know that somebody that they think they love is hurting them.
Each one of these chairs behind me represents 6 people whose lives were lost to domestic violence.
This is the first year for Family Crisis Center's empty chair display to come to Sioux City. It's in the green space near Shields and Barnes & Noble for the next week. There are several victims from Sioux City represented in this display, along with others from Iowa.
For it to be here and to see more people be able to see it and reach more people and impact more of a community, it's just awesome.
This display and the message it sends stops people in their tracks.
We really wanted to just make this display something that they could see locally, that other people could see locally, that people who maybe heard about what happened or knew them, they'd have a place at home to go.
This display is happening right before Survivors of Homicide Victims Awareness Month, which happens every year from November 20 through December 20. The month recognizes those left behind, like Stevie, after the violent loss of a loved one.
Since Peyton has passed, we've tried to do as much awareness as we can, try to help more people get out of situations before they have the tragic end that Peyton did.
In Sioux City, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
The display will be set up through Friday, November 15th.